Me. So I'm a Title 10 guy now. I've been here a long time. Non-rated 13 Bravo in Air Ops. In an Air Ops world, I will tell you that world of flyers, okay, 13s and 11s, I think sometimes they get a little itchy or antsy. And you want to be around to some degree. Okay, so right up front, I'll tell you that I think I need to work a little bit harder than the average bear to be credible in that world. Okay, so I need your help with that. I got a plan for that, but I need your help with that. I've got no concerns about it, okay, but I think other folks may have concerns with that. I also want to let you know that I've got a 37-month set of orders. So you have me for the next 1,119 days if I don't screw something up significantly, okay? So I intend to proactively address things as necessary. So on that topic, for example, the advertisement said 2 years to 4 years. I didn't know any better what I would get. So I said, I'm not waiting to get what I'm going to get. I'm going to go reach out and ask. And I'm glad I did, okay? I reached out and asked General Etter, which I thought was going to be uncomfortable. We had an honest conversation. I actually asked for 3.5 years using the continuity argument. And he said, that sounds good. I will go advocate for you to NGB for that. Didn't know he had to do that. In the meantime, I had emailed, surprisingly, the guys that are actually processing the paperwork, and they got back to me and they said, hey, you were nominated. They put you in for 2 years. I'm like, ooh, I don't like 2 years. So I got 3 years, okay, and it was a good starting conversation with my boss. So that's good. Next. Let me tell you about Title 10 and Title 32. If you've been here in the last 2 years, you know there may have been some instances of unclear lanes for Title 10 and Title 32. There is the possibility of that to happen. When I talk a little bit more about the new ADG commander, I will tell you that we're working really well together. But I will also tell you that I've learned a lot from watching that unfold in front of me. And I'm working very hard to make sure that you guys get what Air Force Policy Document or Directive 38-1 says we all need, which is unambiguous command and simplicity. And unambiguous command is organizational structure. It should provide a clear chain of command running from the president to the most junior airman. Simplicity is organizational structure. It should be as plain and straightforward as possible because complexity often inhibits rather than facilitates organizational effectiveness. So when I was informed that I got picked up and my new chain of command was 1st Air Force, the first thing I did was I went to Latham and started talking to the general officers at New York, and they have my back. And they look at this complex, this installation, as if there's one commander here, effectively, and that's how they would treat it. Now, we are different. Colonel Valvier is the senior Title 32 commander here, and there will be instances where it won't be that simple, okay? But I intend my next 1,119 days to make sure that I am working with both 1st Air Force leadership and New York leadership, and we're working together. And I got to tell you, it was the most pleasant experience in the last week and a half as I went through the process of helping to select the new 24th Air Defense Group commander. The working together of both entities was huge. It was very encouraging. And I thought, this is going to rock, okay? This is going to rock. But I have to talk to these guys. So Title 10, Title 32 should not be a problem, all right? Next. Commanders and Chiefs. Oh, my God. How many units have that many commanders? EADS, 224th Air Defense Group, Air Defense Squadron, Support Squadron, Canadian. I don't know if he's in character. Oh, there's one. That'll work. Canadian Component Commander, a Det 1 G Series Commander, and a Det 2 G Series Commander. Then we've got 2 chiefs right now, and an advertisement for a 3rd chief, okay? And while I have 2 geographic senior enlisted leaders out there, what I really mean to say is there's 1 senior enlisted leader, because we don't have a command chief, there's 1 senior enlisted leader. Right now it's Chief Dooley. Because it's important that the senior enlisted, manage their force well, we treat, we'll treat the Det 1 senior master sergeant there, kind of like a senior enlisted leader. Not really, kind of like, okay? We'll get to what I mean about this. Right now, we'll get to it, actually. So, officers, okay, I learned this. Take note, all right? Let your senior enlisted lead, supervise, manage the force, all right? We have a ways still to go. Will make us more efficient. That doesn't mean hands off, hey, that didn't work, you're at fault, but let them lead. Let the chiefs, let the senior master sergeants help the force get things done for you, and our lives will become easier, okay? If you're not including the senior, and if you're not including the chiefs, the senior master sergeants in decision making, you're wrong. So I want to keep moving in that direction. So having said that, we're not bad, all right? But I want to keep moving in that direction because it's continued untapped potential. Dude, you got a question?
No, sir.
Commanders and chiefs. You know, if we can't get it done with that many commanders out there, man, we got a problem, right? And when I say that, what I mean is, while we have some good lanes defined, we'll refine them even further so that commanders at the lowest level can make decisions at the lowest level, right? That makes things way more efficient. So we're working in that direction. Next. All right, battle commander, installation commander. So what was the big thing a week and a half ago that we couldn't get Colonel Valbier's name announced as the EADG commander? Well, what it was, First Air Force and New York both agreed that an AFSC, maintenance AFSC, would be fine for this position. We gave the information to Guard Bureau just for their SA, kind of sort of. They said, well, wait a second here, okay? And anyways, resolved itself. But the NORAD battle commander should be 11 Fs or 13 Bravos. Colonel Valbier is not either of the two, right? So he won't be a battle commander, right? I'll talk to you about, we're going to solve that. But he is, as a senior Title 32 commander, he is the installation commander of this organization. We'll always talk, but he's the man. All right, so battle commander. Had numerous conversations with General Etter in the last week about that, and he was fully supportive. Okay, it was a good thing to see. And there were some points brought up about the battle commanders should be sixes also, right? Very weak points because it's all based in hearsay, nothing really documented. But to solve that problem near term, we're going to gin up two 05s, Colonel Slick Luby and Colonel Dave Bartzak, to be battle commanders, right? So that may sound like it's confusing in certain situations. It shouldn't be, right? My intent is that the senior ranking officer will always be the guy in all discussions. Say we have a VTC with First Air Force. So if Colonel Valbier's in the room, unless it has to do with tactics, techniques, and procedures, specifically about air operations, he needs to be the guy speaking, talking the talk about events. Okay, we do it other places in the Air Force, right? Senior officers speak about what's going on, and he's a very smart individual when it comes to the aviation and force projection. So that should not be a big deal. So to be clear, he may not always have a battle commander at the end of the table, because as long as he's around, he should be at the end of the table. So involve him. If he doesn't happen to know there's a meeting going on that I would normally be at. I'm not here. So next slide. And I would expect that when he's not around and he needs to hand the installation commander responsibilities off, he'll probably do that too. Okay, let me talk to you briefly about this gentleman. I already told you, he's full in on daily ops, okay, except for sitting position and any in-depth TTP discussions. So there's a senior ranking officer applies anywhere else except for those two things. In fact, he'll probably be able to tell us something based on the fact that he built his own and flies it around. So, next. All right, these two guys right here, right? Quiggs is going to be my senior battle commander after me, typically. Leave it at that. Chief Rojo, you'll see, we'll be talking about Chief Dooley here, moving on. He is really going to be the continuity on Chief Dooley's departure, so they are working really well together. And that'll continue. Next. Okay, we have the advertisement out for the 224 Support Squadron 06 position. It closes on 1 July, right? It's open to 11 Fs and 13 Bravos, again, because of the battle commander requirement. And Chief Dooley is retiring next June after I've heard her a couple times. We will put the advertisement out 6 months prior. I'll link it. I talked to the Title 32. Next. All right, we've talked a little bit about him in a couple different ways before. Just had change of command for Colonel Figueroa. And again, Terry Pentecost is the senior master sergeant down there. While not a real senior enlisted leader, basically acts on that island as the senior enlisted person to go to. Next. And then C.J. Johnson. And so these are all commanders with G-series orders and senior enlisted. And I really want to employ those guys, right? Give them the guidelines that they need to have so that we're all in the same synchronization, and then let them make decisions as long as they're well communicating. Next. And the Canadian guy. I want to roll the Canadian guy in more. And the Canadian commander. I think we kind of used him piecemeal. I know we got a hectic schedule of things, but I really want to do that some more. And pretty soon. So unfortunate for Colonel Paul, although I understand he's going to bigger and better things every day it changes. But Bruce McLean's coming in. I think HLI's a change of command, right? Okay, sweet. So I look forward to that, and he's another member of the team. Next. All right, grade out, because this is really good news. Well, we're not down the path of a security forces squadron yet. That was the direction we're going in. The good news is we have pieces and parts for it. So if you haven't heard, we're advertising for an AGR chief, so we'll have a third chief, and AGR senior master sergeant. We'll have a second senior master sergeant in security forces. And those things will help round out that organization. And I'll talk a little bit more about those guys too. And there's a commander component too. In the Guard, it's an air technician, Defense Force commander / anti-terrorism officer. But that's another component. Next. Okay, hold on there. So the other thing I want to tell you is we're making some good progress too with the two first shirt model. Right now we have one first shirt master sergeant AGR. We were told we should have two senior master sergeant and a master sergeant. We have most of the components in place. We just need a little bit more further to go. Just had some headway here to get that the senior master sergeant piece locked up so we can advertise that and have two shirts, which would be really helpful because I see him sometimes at wit's end. A lot of the stuff going. It'll be good for us. And again, promotion opportunities for folks that want to go that direction. Next. All right, next. That is not what that is what I want to do right there. We do not want to do status quo, okay, the next 3 years. I don't want to accept status quo unless status quo really is the right answer for things. But I'd like to look at things and go, can we do this better? How should we do this? Next. All right. I thought it'd be worthwhile to run through a list of descriptors here of who we are. Next. So we're clearly a tactical command and control system, right? Next. We're a surveillance platform. We have a surveillance officer. Do you have all the sensors and systems you feel you need to do your job?
Can I always take first?
Okay. So the right answer is no. So, but close. So we need to really identify, right, as a surveillance platform. If we're missing things, we really need to identify what we need better than we are. I think we do identify, but we don't maybe do it in a very corporate structure where the top knows what the bottom's thinking, vice versa. We're a weapons assignment platform, right? And effectively, we really do lead decision making in defending the NCR bonus, right, before anybody else does. I don't know. I think that's lost on folks that don't come here and see what we do, and that's unfortunate because it leaves the wrong impression of the functions we do and we exist. Next. We're also an ops center. That's what I think a lot of people who think about us think of us. And they think of an ops center as not necessarily performing anything specific other than picking up phones and passing information. And we're more than an ops center, but I think that's what people think of us. And I put the S there, right? Because if you're a cyber person, the CFP could kind of be an ops center. If you're CE, the engineering operations section or room could be considered kind of an ops center. And when we get to BCC modernization, maybe combining them together would make sense. Next. All right. We're definitely a cyberspace maintenance force. I don't know if we're a protect force. Would you say we're a protect force?
No, sir.
Okay. What would you say we are in the language that might be more appropriate than a protect force?
Trying to be
Trying to be a protect force?
We are a minimal ability to probably detect something's happening.
So are we there yet?
No,
Okay, so we have work to do, right?
sir.
Okay, next. Self-sustaining engineering operations force, right? We can generate our own power and stay alive for 7 to 10 days. Next. We are an installation defense force, and if we become a separate squadron, it's intended to be a deployable installation defense force, meaning a portion of those people deployable, and a portion will not. Next. All right, and we are partially resourced in some other support areas. Next. And overall, EADS really is geographically separated, and the AG is separated into 3 areas. And more, we need to remember DEP 1, DEP 2 are out there, and how do they get what they need? Or how should they get what they need? Maybe more properly stated. Because maybe how they're getting what they need right now is not the best way. Next. Okay, my last slide. Here we go. These are the things that I intend to do. I'm talking to my bosses. Next. Unbeatable. So I intend to optimize the employment of the BCC at all 3 locations. I think because of my history here, I'm uniquely prepared to help do that. And what I mean by that is actually be in conversation where it matters to get more sensors, to help you get or almost protect cyber forces or cyber systems. Okay? But I need your help to know what to ask for. Next. And effectively, because I don't think there's really a lead BCC advocate out there anywhere, NORAD, NORTHCOM, ACC, anywhere. That's my intent. I plan on being that person. Next. Okay, and so to bore the non-ops guys, all right, the reality is this is going on, this joint engagement sequence is going on, at least the yellow parts, 24/7, and you guys own it. You guys own it, right? Fighters Act, GBED Acts, not 24/7. You guys are doing all this stuff, and I think that's lost on people. I think that's lost on leadership above us, and that's what I intend to advocate for. And if they understand this, then they know that you need all the sensors you need, and you need all the cyber protect-like capability to keep that mission going. And I don't think it gets presented that way to them. So, next. So, any other 11 or 13 Bravo, I would say, can do this, should do this. And when you sit through our VTCs with 1st Air Force, they're there. They do this, right? Colonel Norton did that. He contributed at the table with the other senior CNAF guys. His specialty was F-16s. My specialty is BCC. Okay. Next. Connect the dots. So we're currently working a physician's assistant with an estimated cost of $185,000 annual contract. We are in the last mile of it either succeeding or not, and I intend to help connect the dots to make sure that we don't lose it in the last mile or the last 3 inches, and then that money gets turned back. We have to find something else to do with it. Okay, that's when we find those things that need the dots connected in the last couple feet. I want to be part of that if I need to be. Next. Need to cultivate essential relationships with key people. Next. Now, the following ones here really are coming from my bosses. Grow new leaders. That's kind of a given. I think we do a good job here, but we'll keep doing that. Next. Define the vision, going outward. Next. And find out what can go wrong and prevent it. All right, it's kind of tough. So I need your help with that, guys. Next. And then again, I can't emphasize enough ties to those 3 organizations: New York, First Air Force, and Guard Bureau. That will help us be successful. And I think that's it. Next. It is. Great. Thanks.
So Colonel Philcorn had a couple weeks to develop all these slides, and I had about half of a day. As you know, the announcement came out Thursday, change of command Friday, so I don't have the words. I have developed what I need to project to all you for, but what I will do is some awards. So
We're just recognizing.
okay.
We're going to on this quarter.
Okay, awesome. So, quarterly awards at the squadron commander call for these individuals. Airman, Senior Airman Damian Buckwall.
If you're
For
present,
EADS.
stand up. All right.
Excellent. For NCO, Josh Barrett. Senior NCO, James Burke. CGO of the quarter, Tom Banks. Civilian of the quarter, Gerald Lee. Heather Johnson for the instructor enlisted. And Pam Mazer for instructor O. For support, we got Sierra Ayers as the airman. NCO Asa Peterson. Senior NCO William Stickle. From its knee. CGO Tom Perkins. And civilian Tracy Gallagher, who's off with their new baby. Congratulations to all. CCF greets. You doing those?
Yes, sir. Your name is on the list. Please come and line up in that order. Line up, insert one over here. You stand.
So Frank Alamar, Associates in Applied Science for Electronic Systems Technology. Tom Carricane, Associate in Applied Science for Air and Space Operations Technology. And a person whom I worked with his dad at the 174th a long, long time ago, Paul Kalesa, Associate in Applied Science and Air and Space Operations Technology.
Silva has 2.
Overachieve.
Yes, sir.
So, Tom Silva, Associate in Applied Science and Aerospace Operations Technology and Aircraft Structural Maintenance Technology. Awesome. That's it.
There you go,
All right.
guys.
Congratulations. And just to echo on those awards, associate's degrees, it is so important to continue your education, no matter where you're at in the Air Force, both with PME, your civilian education, getting that advanced degree if you haven't done so, if you're an officer, and making sure you go to the NCO Academy, Airman Leadership School, Senior NCO Academy. If you can go in residence to any of those, they're awesome avenues to get greater education. Just ask who's the latest Senior NCO Academy. The Medico. Yeah, where is he? Great opportunity, wasn't it?
Yes, sir.
Yep. So take advantage of that opportunity. It is on us to get you to go out there and get your PME done, whether in residence or my correspondence. So I got any questions for me? All right, thanks.
How's it going, everybody? Hey, real quick, we'll go down the list of we've been busy in ops and EADS as a whole, so it's difficult to portray that in one slide, but I'm going to do my best. Recent events: successful First Air Force stand eval training, capstone inspection, otherwise known as a CQE, occurred a few weeks ago. And Wes Rathmill in the room. Hey, Wes. Kind of stand up real quick. Wes Rathmill led a very crucial part of the capstone event, which is going to take place officially this fall. But a little known fact, they did show up, and the CQE was a major success. All indications are it was a major success so far. We haven't seen the official documentation, but Wes Rathmill and his team, to include Sergeant Burke, Sergeant Barrett, anybody else in the stand eval here that pursued Major Duda. I didn't see it. There was light behind it. Major Duda. You've lost weight. So the entire stand eval team, to include the primary secondary evaluators, and by the way, all the crew and support guys that kind of were on and were affected by this mass footprint for about a week. I appreciate it. Thank you very much. It's huge. This is you hear a lot about alert force evaluations. This is how we build reputations at First Air Force, at ACC, and at NORAD Enterprise as a whole. So thanks a lot, Wes. Huge. We're not done yet. Ursa trial period. Let's see if I can get a couple out of the way. I'd say Claude Hibbert, Pete Ryan, Doogie Tuttle, a few other guys that absolutely played a major role in the Ursa trial period. Yeah, it was a pain in the butt. But I'll tell you what, Pete. I said Pete Onan.
Ryan.
Yeah, Pete Ryan. Where is Pete Ryan? For Yellowknife, you have no idea the influence he has. Pete Onan, absolutely a 30-day trial period, which was, trust me, it was, like I said, it was a pain in the butt. The fact is, two things came out of it. We proved to the Enterprise that we can validate and characterize tracks from our operations floor. And we also proved that maybe, just maybe, that capability and that technology belongs on our operations floor to provide CFAC time and options to prevent protect the homeland. So very much appreciated all the time and the effort that I'm sorry, I forgot Lieutenant Colonel Bishop as well. Huge players in making this happen for the Ursa trial period. Just because it's quiet right now, by the way, on all that doesn't mean it hasn't gone away, and Colonel Filkhorn and I aren't thinking about it on a daily basis. Being two contract instructors, are they here? Lyle Seelbach and Jeff Lamarche. You may have heard of them. They've worked here. Now they're misters, and they are now qualified to actually sit on position and instruct to a degree, and we're getting them through more and more as they are getting trained by current DOT instructors. They're going to become more of an asset to us. Huge having these two guys in place to alleviate some of the workload off of our AGR workforce in DOT. Also, we're still looking for a weapons qualified, performer qualified individual to come into there as well. There's a contract out. If you know anybody who fits that bill, let us know. We'd love to have them in our training shop as soon as possible. Real quick, just a little TTP here, hostile declaration revisions. Renegade is now an actual term, and I hate to exclude the support side of the house. You may not understand, but Renegade is now being used. We've always been using it in an unofficial and official manner in our standard operating procedures before we engage assets. The fact is that hostile declaration revision is now much more, the term Renegade being used is a lot more likely to alleviate some confusion in one of the most critical point of what we do, and that is the engagement of a civil airliner before we shoot it down. So huge, and I want to thank Kyle Paul and Tad Stoller for assisting that change. Upcoming events, Ardent Century, it actually starts tomorrow. You'll see an expansion take place tomorrow based on a sim earthquake in the Western Air Defense Sector. So ops, be prepared, and that's going to lead to some possible CAT team organization, and we'll see where it goes from there. But overall, there's going to be an undercurrent of an exercise called Ardent Century, which is going to drive a little bit of muscle from the ops and support side of the house starting tomorrow. Hopefully minimal muscle movement, but still, it's going to be there. RNC and DNC, Republican National Convention and Democratic National Convention in Cleveland and Philly in July is coming up this summer. I've asked the DSGs, I've asked supervisor DSGs, but it's not too late, DSGs. If you want to participate in a surge capacity type role, which we'd love to have you here to see some good ops tempo, no kidding around. A lot of you guys just saw the Miami and the Palm City TFRs for POTUS. It's probably going to be a little bit like that this summer. Busy times to surveil, busy times to control, busy times to lead an ops floor. Please get with your supervisors. We will get you days if you can sign up for any RNC, DNC. I have reached out to the BCCs from Hawaii, Alaska, and WADS. 2 of those 3 BCCs, Hawaii and Alaska, are signing up for this. They're going to send us a couple of guys. The Hawaiian commander said, Quiggs, I can help you out. I'm going to send you a guy. However, we owe them for when President Obama goes down to Hawaii, we're going to owe them a couple of guys down there as well. So, yeah, right? That's what I thought. That's what I thought. Okay? Get in line. Get in line. We'll see what we can do, guys.
Do they need a chaplain?
They need a chaplain. I'll let you know. Skip over the hostile tech revision and phase 2 bats. I know Lieutenant Colonel Elbrich has put a lot of time and effort, amongst others as well, into the battle space access training system. I want to just bring this to the attention of you as a crowd, so you're not. This acronym has come and gone a million different times, but I believe that acronym is yours, right, Babe? All right, so blame it on Babe. But the fact of the matter is, what this results in, what BATS looks like, is really a 60 by 35 shelter, large shelter on campus soon. All right, whether it's before the winter or after the winter is still TB. Inside is going to be, there'll be 18 OWSs, and it'll be a DMO capable for sim over live segregation, 4th, 5th gen type control, and it may not look like the prettiest thing on our campus for a while, but it's going to have some really good capabilities inside that we can take advantage of to keep ourselves current and applicable as the 4th, 5th gen fighters roll out. And finally, segregation and similar live training on the op floor. Don't confuse with BATS, but what we're looking at is mirroring our op floor with a real-world live alert type look off to the right as you're looking at the data walls, and then off the left-hand side will be more of a training, located around dedicated training area, a mirror image of the op floor on either side to what's it going to do? It's going to alleviate the fact of TTs necessarily tracking real world and sim at the same time. It's going to alleviate the IDTs from doing live den calls and sim den calls and control them the same way. So bottom line is, it's just too much mission risk that we've been accepting for too long, and this is a huge step in the right direction, as Colonel Philcombe was talking about. This is this is not the status quo. We're changing the status quo here to make ourselves better and for you guys and for the enterprise. Last thing is we just retired Senior Master Sergeant Ayers, Clint Ayers. For those of you who were not in the room, which I imagine a lot of you were not, it was a packed house, but I know not everybody could make it. Senior Master Sergeant Ayers, well-deserved. The guy had 28 years, 18 given to us. And it'll be sad. We're not as good as a unit as we were 5 days ago when we had him. We actually still do have him, do we
Yes,
not?
we do.
He's still there. But if you happen to see him around, please send him your gratitude. That's all I have from Ops. Thank you.
This goes out to all techs and below. The junior enlisted will be hosting a semi-formal at the Delta Lake Inn for anybody who would like to join us. I encourage all NCOs to even advocate for this. Senior NCOs, let them go, see what you can do, work with their schedule. Food, drinks, $15 advance tickets until June 15th. After June 15th, the ticket price will go up to $20. And the event will be June 4th. Any of us?
So for those of you that don't know, I'm your top 3 president. Sergeant Jeremy's the vice, and we just elected Sergeant Roberts as the new secretary treasurer. And one of the initiatives we're pushing was for a top 3 scholarship program. And basically what that is a $250 donation from the top 3 for a current 224th member, and it has to be E6 or below. They have to be enrolled in a degree program, hold a 3.0 or higher GPA. We had everybody submit packages with applications, transcripts, and an essay. And on behalf of the top 3, our winner for 2016, Sergeant Asa Peterson. He's on paternity leave with his newborn daughter, Cora, so he couldn't be here to accept. And then just to add, we've been working a lot of issues. We're getting more involved in recruiting. Started a new program called Charity Miles, where we're running and donating miles that gets us money towards charity. Also, we're trying to get a full CCF graduation for everybody here. And we're working with the Junior Enlisted Council on a mentoring up program. So a lot of stuff going on. Our meetings are every third Thursday of the month. Just moved over to the conference room downstairs because of scheduling issues. But come out, turn up if you got ideas and you can't make it. Send us email and we'll put things together and try to make stuff happen. So thank you.
All right, try to make it quick. Wingman Day is going to be Tuesday and Thursday. We're splitting it up. So the concept we have this year is we're going to have multiple areas you can go and participate in different things as you have an interest. So we're going to have tomorrow, we'll have Military One Source will be here all day. So there'll be someone sitting at a table. You can ask questions about the resources available through Military One Source and have help navigating their webpage to find the things that you're looking for both you and your family. They have a lot of stuff available there. Mrs. Veeder, Barb Veeder will be here for the morning, so she can answer any questions you have about TRICARE issues, medical benefits, or anything like that. Down at the Coliseum, we'll be running CrossFit classes every hour in the hour from 8 a.m. till noon, and there will be a restorative yoga session also being held on the hour from 8 a.m. to noon. There will be 2 classes, 2 hours long, one starting at 8 and one starting at 10 for stress management. We have some people coming down from Fort Drum to teach that class. That same schedule will be the same on Thursday afternoon, so we'd like you to hit 2 of all of those things as possible. Tomorrow also, Clear Path will be here, and they'll have chair massages, some, what's the other thing they do? The polarity, whatever that is. That seems kind of know which doctors, but that's good. And a couple other things, right? So there will be kind of a mini Warrior Reset. This is the first time they've ever gone somewhere to do it, so this is a trial basis for all of us. And I think if it has good results, we might be able to convince them to come back on a semi-regular basis to do this for us. Sign-up sheet is on the left-hand side on SharePoint under libraries. There's all the classes and the places you see to sign up. That's all there is. We have very limited volume that we can take for some of these classes, so it'll be first come, first serve, right? The only thing you don't have to worry about getting filled up on is my CrossFit class. I can take as many people as come down. We'll take care of it. Won't be good. So, and I promise it'll be appropriate. It's not crazy. Everybody will be able to participate. So family picnic is the other big thing. Today, tickets went on sale. You'll see on the flat screen some information on that and some information in the sector. I wanted to get that information out today because we won't see drill status guardsmen until August because there's no drill in July. So tickets are on sale, $10 for adults. Ages 6 to 12 is $5. 5 and under is nothing. If you at least get your name on the list and you pay when you show up in August, that's fine. Just get your name on the list. Get those tickets reserved. That gives us a better idea to know how many people we have coming. Should be a good time like we normally have. We're always trying to get a little bigger and better. And I think that's it. Is there anything else? This is a big one right here. All right. Key Spouse. So the Key Spouse program is something that active duty has. The Guard is starting to adopt this more. What we have is a spouse of one of our members is going to become the proverbial first sergeant for the families. That is, he or she, in this case she, will be the liaison between the families and the unit through the commander. So she will actually have access to come in the installation whenever she needs to. She'll get a CAT card and be able to get on email. So she can communicate across both lanes much more effectively than we've been able to do in the past. Mrs. Marcolini, there's a little bit about her bio here. We all know her husband, Master Sergeant Marcolini, works back in the comm shop. Very proactive, really a good go-getter, very approachable, and wants to see some good things happening. If you're not already a member of our Facebook support page, I recommend that you get in there, get your families in there. She and Mrs. Peterson are very active posting things in. I think that's next. And this is her vision plan. And take a minute to read this. This is the idea. This is where she's going with what she sees. All right. So she's reachable through myself right now. If you're not on the Facebook page, she put out her information there, and we'll get all that information out shortly so you can reach her anytime. And if you have any other questions, I think that's it for me. That's it. And this is notification for our family picnic.
It's just these will be rotating through SharePoint. Upcoming policy events. Take a quick peek.
Yeah.
Security forces, gate closure 13 to 17. So the alternate will be open. Sergeant, did you hear?
Hopefully we'll get our gate fixed. It's 2 times this year we've been struck by a snowplow and also a tractor trailer. So hopefully we'll fix it and Danny won't lose any more hair. But basically it's going to be the same as when we had the out before when we rebuilt the gate. We're going to go through the gate right down here. Slow it down coming in and out. And also when you leave, look out for tractor trailers. There's people flapping down this road. I want you guys to get T-boned and won't be upset with us doing paperwork. So same thing when you leave the gate. A lot of people are exercising this time of year on bikes and running, so be careful when you guys leave the gate. Flexibility is key here. If you have large tractor trailers, just bear with us as we get them in and out. And if you have a weapon in your vehicle, we're going to deal with it. Then, if some guys like to carry some firearms to work, we'll park you up in another location. If you guys come in, just let us know. We'll take care of you. And Dan said this might push left or right, and on the contractors, they're waiting on some bonds to be corrected for them to do the work. But besides that, it should be pretty fluid, and any changes will push out via email and also across the large screens. Thank you.
All right, so several of you, many of you, I should say, have stopped by our booths the last 4 days. Distracted 5 minutes well. So for the rest of the week, we're going to be having the safety booth alternating building. So by 700 tomorrow morning, doing heat safety and giving out those fancy little water bottles. So if you're interested in grabbing one of those and stop by, and I'll harass you about staying safe in the heat and water.
Yeah, it's our schedule for the rest of the week. That's it, sir.
Okay, a couple other things real quick. So who's a PTL in the room? Please stand up. Who's leading the PTLs? Rob?
I'm not a PTL, but I'll stand up, sir.
All right, so I appreciate what you guys are doing. You guys are making this operation look smooth and effective, and one of the big things for AT Week is getting about 300 or so people through. You guys are making it happen, so thank you. I believe it's Wednesday morning now, the commanders, just normal commanders meeting, that we're going to be a little more scheduled about. The topic is going to be alumni. What do we want to do with our alumni, right? So if you guys have any thoughts prior to Wednesday, run it up your chain of command, what you think about what we can do with our alumni, what we expect of them, and how that can benefit the unit, if you have any thoughts, right? But I do want to do something more proactive than just talk about them. I put a request out there for senior master sergeants, optional. Every other Thursday, you're welcome to swing by. I think it was noon to 12:30 for kind of like in office, bring your own lunch opportunity to talk about anything and everything. Okay, standard ROE though. If you got a gripe or anything, you have to run through your chain of command. It's appropriate that you run through your chain of command first. But I want to get closer to the leadership in the trenches and just have conversations about anything. Okay, every other Thursday, and I promise, like the support squadron guys know, if I'm not going to be there on Thursday, we'll cancel it the morning of. Right, Terry?
Yes, sir.
Thanks. Good news about the chaplain. He will be on site, temp AGR, for a good period, probably about 90 days. Do we have what was the start date again?
It's gonna 15 June until 30 September.
Okay, so 15 June to 30 September. He will be here. He'll be helping us out with a number of other things, but also standard chaplain things. So great resource there. The Art and Century that you heard about from Colonel Quigley. We now have a document, emergency management document that talks about a crisis action team, CAT. We haven't really put together any procedures on how a CAT works. Okay, we have a list of who's on the CAT. Expect that there will be some discussion about forming the CAT this week. Some degree. Colonel Malvier's really got the hammer on that. So if you see people getting called out of their offices because they're on the CAT, that's why. And just kind of walking through it, really slow crawl. And then the Hunters Club. We got a meeting this week. Colonel Malvier will be in that meeting too with JAG, Mark Armitage, and we'll figure out an ideal way ahead with the Hunters Club. So there's Colonel May right now. So when's that meeting? Hey, Mark. Tomorrow? Okay. All right. So we'll knock it out tomorrow. Any questions for me?
Colonel Filkhorn, what happened with the Hunters Club is most focused on the position.
Okay, so there's an AFI that says, I want to explain it?
Sure. Yeah. In a nutshell, because the Hunters Club's a private organization, where we're currently situated, our lease expired, of course, so DFAS had their general counsel look at it, DC, and they said, can't do it because the AFI for private organizations prohibits serving or, consuming alcohol. That's the main.
On a federal installation.
On a federal installation, sorry. Exactly. Thank you, sir. Because it's technically on a federal installation. So we've been going over some ideas we're going to talk about tomorrow about trying to figure out how to do it.
I think it's
That's the
solved.
gist of it.
I think it's solved one way or another.
Yeah. Get it resolved.
Yep. Any other questions? Nope. JB, you got anything? Sure. Okay, that's it. Thanks, guys. Fran?